Coming up on this episode of the Village Idiom.
When an eel wants to bite, stick its teeth in your thigh. It's amore.
Dum dum da da, Village Idiom.
Hello and welcome to the Village Idiom.
We are a podcast that every week, what we do is we choose. You all right?
Did you hear that?
Where you just groove into it and put your neck out?
Did you hear that? I think I was grooving and I gave myself an adjustment.
I hope you can hear that.
But not
That
the good
snap,
kind.
Snap.
Oh. It was
Do you want to start over?
No, it sent like warm pain down my...
Oh, I know that feeling.
Yeah.
You get a little warm drizzle.
Yeah, it's like that or like a stroke. I don't know.
Well, what we do is we choose a popular saying. We guarantee to take a shallow, hopefully comedic, once well, even interesting, if we're lucky, educational dive into its meaning, its usage, its origins. But mostly, we use it to get the kinks out of our neck and hurt ourselves and hang our otherwise directionless conversation on. My name is Jurassic Mark.
And I'm skinny.
You sure are.
Another day in paradise. Living a dream.
Bleeding a dream.
Bleeding it. There's
Some
just
might
dream
say.
everywhere. It's like a massacre.
Somebody clean up this place. There's dream everywhere.
It's like a massacre happened. There's just dream all over the walls.
Sometimes you say things right out of the gate where I'm like, what are you talking about? And then I realize, oh, you're on topic. But I'm not seeing it this time.
Oh no, I'm not there.
Okay. Like there's no segue here.
No, there's no segue. I
dream all over the walls.
Yeah. No, it is from a story of a mutual friend who had a CD, a titled CD. It was Bleeding the Dream.
Yep.
And then so from Bleeding the Dream, I wanted to see like there's this dream everywhere. It's like I just bled. The dream is bled out. There's just dream all over the place.
I see. You went for the dream jugular.
Like Dexter, but a dream. Yeah. The splatter expert.
Got it.
I need to bring a splatter expert into this dream.
This dream room.
Yeah.
That's funny. I actually gave dream yesterday. I'm a dream donor.
Your dreams are in you to give.
It's in you to give.
So did you go to the Canadian Dream Services?
Yeah.
Nice.
The Canadian Dream Clinic.
Okay. Yeah, so did
We're talking about blood, right?
I was talking about blood.
Yeah. Okay. Good.
But I've only given blood once.
I don't think I ever have. I feel bad.
The time I went, it was fantastic. My wife got us all fired up. She's like, "Man, we got to go out and give blood, do our part." I'm like, "Sure, it's in you to give. Free cup of juice. It's all good." And so we went.
Oh, as in they give you juice. It's not what you're giving.
Yeah,
a cup of juice.
Here's a cup of juice. And then after we went through the little interview intake, make sure that you don't have too many crazy weird things that makes your blood ineligible.
Okay.
Yeah, on that particular occasion, she was just low on iron, and so she was not allowed to give.
Oh.
And so it was like, hey, let's go do this. Oh, it'd be so good, give it. By the way, I can't do it, so here it is.
Oh my
goodness. We're going to this appointment, and now you're giving your blood, and I'm sitting in a chair reading a magazine.
We're going to this appointment, or we're going to disappointment.
Yeah, either way, same thing. So hopefully someone out there is taking a few pumps on me. It was in me to give.
That's great. So today,
otherwise I've been greedy about the whole thing.
That whole story sound like was it a true story?
Yeah,
because just a little bit, I didn't believe you.
No, it was true. It was a true story.
There was just something.
I know you're thinking a guy like that, he's got so much blood to give.
He
should be given like weekly.
There's something about the story.
Real. Something smells fishy.
Something smells fishy about that story.
No, it's all true. It was. I did come across a fishy song.
Really?
Fishy song. Here we go.
Well, that was today's idiom. In case you're wondering why Vince is now going to share a fishy
things
song.
that are fishy.
Yes, it could be said.
It was actually a really weird topic.
Something is fishy. Something smells fishy.
It was a weird topic. It had like every time I researched anything, it was
different variables. Is that what you mean?
No, it was like it smells fishy, and it's like you start running it through, like what's new in the news, and it's like People are suspicious of like media coverage of this, what's happening in Ukraine, and the Russians. It was like, what smells fishy? It was all
Conspiracy,
coronavirus, or the war. And so it was like, well, this is.
Do we really want to cover either of those subjects?
Like, I don't want to go too far.
Yeah,
like we're going light and mild here.
Get our tinfoil hats on and down the rabbit holes.
That smells fishy,
right?
Yeah, because and it's a funny thing to do. If there is a conspiracy idiom, we should cover it one day because it would just be funny.
This is probably it. Something smells fishy.
Oh man! I wished I'd prepared differently.
Yeah, me too. We'll find another.
You'll find another one.
I'm sure there's.
Yeah.
I mean, tinfoil hat. A lot of people use that.
Okay, well, we definitely have to do that sometime then.
Yeah.
Okay, here's the song. Okay. When an eel wants to bite, stick its teeth in your thigh. It's amore.
Did you write it?
No, I came across it's like Fishy Songs, and it was, that's amore.
That's funny.
Yeah, and it cracked me up.
Yeah, like, that's good.
Yeah, so somewhere along the line, someone did their own adaptation as to what kind of eel this was. It's a moray.
When a fish sinks its teeth into your thigh?
Yeah.
That's a moray. That's great. It's actually great.
Yeah,
I like it.
It cracked me up, so that's why I had to bring it along.
Something's fishy, Alfred.
Nope. You recognize that voice?
It sounded like Batman. Robin.
Okay. Yeah. Nicely done.
Speaking of the Cape Crusader being a sleuth, the detective said, something's fishy about this evidence. Turned out it was a red herring.
Oh, funny. It seems like that should have some origins.
Maybe.
It doesn't. I can tell you. It has nothing to do with red herring, but I'm surprised that did. I wish I had given that as one of the fake options in the game we're about to play.
Because I'd have chose that one.
Because that's a good one. How does something smells fishy or something's fishy here not come from a red herring? Well, that's actually amazing.
Yeah, well, there's the two sides of it. There's like the actual meaning, like how we do. It's like, something's fishy. Just something doesn't quite seem right.
It's just off. Yeah,
something's off about that. I was at our previous joint work venture the other day, and poured out a nice cup of coffee, nice hot cup of coffee, and put in some milk there, and then the milk kind of glued and turned into a fishy. Yeah, and the person manning the booth was like,
"Oh, this isn't just in your house."
No.
Oh wow, that's nice.
Yeah, and it was like, no, I just smelled it. Seems fine. I'm like, let me have a whiff of that. And it was like, oh,
next,
knocked me like right out of my shoes.
Go get your smelling tested. Do you have COVID? Why don't you smell this?
Yeah,
should I be taking?
Be able to smell this.
Yeah, should I be taking a beverage from you if you can't smell this?
Well, even it's just the visuals. It's like, oh, maybe you didn't like shake up the milk. Like if it maybe gets a cream layer, if it sits for just a little bit.
Is that a thing?
I'm gonna say it is.
Okay.
Because so I don't want.
Were you pouring cottage cheese?
I was, but I don't think I was supposed to be. And you're like, oh, it'll break up if I stir it. Nope. Breaking it up, it just looks like if you took a mud puddle and poured cellulite into it. It's just this white globby.
Well, we're gonna get into origins, but it's interesting. Like it doesn't have to smell fishy as an idiom. It's something's fishy. So it's not.
I did come across a
something
list.
Smells fishy. Something is fishy.
Of things that smell fishy.
Okay.
Here you go. Here we go. Things that smell fishy. Okay, damaged insulation. Did you know this?
No.
So apparently insulation and...
Like it's gone moldy or?
Yeah, something about that. I guess there's certain acids, alkylamines, or aldehydes that smell fishy when they're being dissolved or something that can have some
normal corrosion or something.
Damage.
Like, is that intentional though to tell you, or is that just the result?
I think it's just the result.
Okay.
Yeah, it's not like they put the rotten egg smell into natural gas. It's not like that.
It's funny. I'm going to interrupt you because so when I was a teenager, one of my friends, whenever he borrowed his dad's car, I'm like, it smells like maple syrup in here. And everyone was like, yeah, it does smell like maple syrup. And he goes, I don't know why. So just recently,
Is he Canadian?
my car started to smell like maple syrup, and I had a flashback. I'm like, oh, this is a car thing. So I Googled, why does my car smell like maple syrup?
Because you're from
and
Quebec?
if you have a coolant leak, it could
What?
smell like maple syrup.
That's crazy.
So I'm going to get it checked out.
Crazy. Okay. Number 2. Things that have a fishy smell.
If your number 2 smells fishy,
Well, I guess it's possible. Okay, a dead mouse or rat in an air duct.
I know that smell. I would not say it's fishy. It's a
Tilapia?
It's a distinct smell of death, is what that is.
Like the grave?
It smells like the grave.
Okay, mold in the AC unit.
Oh, really? That's a fishy smell?
This is the internet tells me things.
I don't know. I'm not rich enough to have an AC unit.
But I have smelled when there's something like when the AC's on, it's like that. It's like musty weird.
Yeah,
it's like
I know
something's
that.
off. Fishy, I don't know about. I don't know. Maybe if
I thought maybe it was the actual
if your
chemicals.
AC is in like Louisiana or something,
Right.
It might smell like a crawdad crawled up your AC. And then that for sure smells fishy. Okay, spoiled food, and then number
and rancid fish.
the final one that smells fishy, rancid fish. No, so of course it came to light with all this last couple of years, but I'd not heard this spin on it. COVID-related smell disorder. That there was a thing, COVID-related smell disorder, and some people smell fish.
Oh, I think my son had that.
Really?
I remember him saying that everything smelled just sort of. It's not that he lost his sense of smell. I wish I could remember. It was that everything smelled a certain way. I'm so tempted to just call him while we're recording. And we can't. My phone is recording us.
So it was, that certain things because they produce, acids, alkaline, aldehydes.
He was fine. So on his isolation days, he was fine indoors. Just felt like he couldn't smell things, but he had to run to the car, and the outside atmosphere was like. He held his breath because he couldn't stand the smell of it.
Apparently, for people that experience that, they said it can hit them so hard, it's like putrefying. Like it just makes.
Yeah, he ran.
It makes you heave.
Held his breath and ran
just the
because
air.
it was so bad.
Interesting.
Yeah, I'll ask him if it was fishy smell. But it was something overbearing.
Wow. Anyways, those are things that smell like fish.
Well, we are going to get into origins, but let's play a game because we haven't done it in a number of weeks. Where I'm going to give you 3 possible answers of origins.
Oh, good. We haven't done this in 3 weeks.
Yeah.
Did you just say that? I just...
and see if you can guess which one is the correct origins. And then we'll get into the answer. So, number 1. In the American 1920s, when mob/mafia ties were eking into many large cities, when something smelled fishy, it didn't mean what it means today. It meant you were walking on thin ice and risked sleeping with the fishes. So, something smells fishy, as in, push me one more time. Something smells, it was like a threat.
Something smells fishy, you will be sleeping with the fishes. I like that. Okay, that was well put together.
Number 2. In the American 1920s, when mob/mafia ties were eking into many large cities. Sound familiar? It was common for them to settle into preferred restaurants as headquarters. So much time was spent in said restaurant, it was said that they began to smell like the food being cooked there. Here it is. Tony Marbles Castelluccio set up in a seafood restaurant, and it was the Brooklyn police that first started using the phrase "something smells fishy," as in it was tied to
Smells fishy, say?
Tony Castelluccio.
Well, I'm not sure if it's like regionist or whatever, but I would think that I'm assuming he's Italian.
Sounds Italian.
Sounds Italian. When I think of an Italian eatery, I don't think fish, but I'm sure they do.
No, this is a seafood restaurant, but there's no idiom that says something smells spaghetti-ish.
Well, I'm glad you said it. Yeah, it's like smells like pasta. Yeah, because that would be, I don't know, is a fish sauce. I don't know. I'm not buying number 2.
No,
you sit on a throne of lies.
I wouldn't buy number 2 unless it was stamped with a guarantee.
Okay, is there a number 3?
Number 3.
Or is it just 1 and 2?
No, number 3. So both started with, both 1 and 2. I thought you'd pick up on this. I thought you'd actually react that both 1 and 2 started with the same sentence. In the American 1920s, when mob/mafia ties were eking into many large cities. Word for word the same. No comment. Number 3. In the 1800s, the way you could tell if the fish at the fish market was fresh was if it didn't smell. If something smelled fishy, it was bought at your own risk.
That's true. That's a fact.
That fish doesn't smell?
Yeah, like when you have fresh fish, it doesn't taste fishy. That's why people...
Doesn't taste or doesn't smell?
Whatever. You eat with your nose and your mouth. but yeah.
Nancy Kerrigan doesn't need her nose.
But that's a true thing when it's like, oh, that fish is like off. It's like, it's not.
But I've been to
off.
fish
It's
market like Pike Place in Seattle.
Yeah.
You smell fish.
For sure. There's like no doubt when you catch fish and you cook fish in the same like day, all the rest of that, fresh fish does not smell fishy.
Huh.
Yeah.
I think I've only eaten old fish.
Yeah, well, it starts to do its thing, and clearly alkalides and alkalamines and acids start to come off of it, giving it that fishy odor.
Is that right? Is that come from fish?
No, that was from the previous thing. That we
Right,
just talked
the
about.
insulation. Is there fish in your insulation? Are you insulating your house with fish?
I don't know if you were like Nordic, maybe.
So we've got 2 mafia-related ones and 1 fish market one.
I think number 3 is a real thing. So I'm gonna go with number 3.
All right. Well, let's find out then.
Okay, please be good to me.
I really thought.
Please be good to me.
Said some words, where'd they go? Where'd they go? No one can know. I turned around and looked behind. Those words came from another mind. Origin.
I thought I was guaranteed that if I gave you 2 options that were similar, that you'd think I was creating one to sound similar to the real one, and you would choose one of the 2 matching ones.
So it's number 3.
It's number 3.
Yeah, I knew it's a real thing.
So the phrase originates in the early 1800s when at the fish market,
Smells fishy.
you knew that the fish was fresh if it didn't smell. If the fish had a foul odor, it meant the fishmonger was being dishonest and only selling stale fish because only stale fish has an odor. And I actually saw people online in different forums saying, I work at a fish place and if there is no smell. But I'm like, I know people who've told stories about working at the docks and coming home and showering because they stunk so bad with fish. But I guess maybe that's part of the job, though, is you're getting rid of old stuff. Maybe that's why the fish market smells in Pike Place, is because while it's all fresh on the...
And even like fresh could be a couple of days or...
Yeah,
like
but
fresh,
also there's
not like
probably
it's pulled like right out of the ocean into
fish
your hand.
droppings on the ground that are slowly turning... Right.
Yeah, or just in general, like fresh is like a subjective, I would think.
Yeah.
Like it's fresh as in like right off the line, right into your sandwich.
But if,
well, there you go. That's
but
fresh.
it only takes 1 rotten fish to...
But if they buy it out, yeah, exactly. If they catch the thing out in the ocean, it takes a day or 2 to get it back into market and then process it and whatever.
There's going to be some sort of smell.
Sure.
So here's something interesting. You're going to like this. So I don't know if we actually clarified. We used it a variety of ways, or something fishy is just means that there's something of doubtful character. There's a shady deal going on. There's something fishy here. And the term fishy is thought to have arisen. Some origins think that it may have come from a different idiom, as slippery as a fish, because that's somebody...
I thought it was an eel.
Slippery as an eel, slippery as a fish.
Okay.
No, I don't know, but in this particular, my deep research was slippery as a fish. Somebody who's trying to get out of something. You can't catch them. They're sneaky. They think that this idiom comes from that idiom. Something fishy comes from slippery as a fish. That's not really...
That's amore.
Known for sure, but there is also an allusion to meat with a fishy taste is rancid meat. So if meat smells fishy, it's not good to eat.
No, that's not good.
But the most simplified origin story is the one, number 3, that fish doesn't stink. But just to finish this thought, this is the part that you'll like. Fish that is starting to turn and smells is caused by a chemical named trimethylamine. Trimethylamine. Was that one of the chemicals you had? No? Okay. I thought, what are the chances that insulation breaking down creates a same chemical that fish itself breaking down has? So trimethylamine. There's an extra syllable. I can't get the...
Okay, this has actually been bothering me, and I would love input. Please feel free, Village children to chime in on this. If you knew full well, like people dog on like red meat is going to kill you. You know, you're going to knock years off your life unless you eat certain that. Red meat is bad. You're going to clog up your bowel. You're going to have a clogged bowel syndrome or whatever goes on with your cholesterol is going to be high. Would you rather live off the top of my head, 5 extra years and not have the red meat, or go free of whatever thing they're telling you to not have and live longer?
So I think there's a conundrum in your question.
Okay.
Because if you're dealing like, do you want to live 90 years and 95? I think people are going to go, oh, I'd rather enjoy the meat and live 90. But red meat can cause other more serious things, right? That could
like
cause
happiness.
That would be
That's
not
serious.
the difference of 5 years, but the difference of 25 years.
So if there was like so there's conclusive red meat is going to knock 25 years off your life, and your choices were 90 or whatever, 65 years, well, then you would go, no, but I don't think such a thing exists.
No, it's not that red meat will kill you and shorten your life by 25 years, but red meat will lead you to something else potentially cancerous.
Happiness.
Cancerous. You're pronouncing it different.
Well,
That's your lisp again. Say cancerous.
You keep on using this word.
Say cancerous.
Happiness. Yeah, so it's like, oh, it's that. It's going to be milk. It's going to be sugar. It's going to be other things that I like.
Right. So you'd have to be gluten-free, sugar-free, dairy-free.
Because what I think of is like Siskel and Ebert, and Big Fat Ebert, like living his life, and Gene Siskel after a run has a heart attack and he dies at like 50 something. And I think Siskel's still going, or Ebert's still going on strong.
Have you seen him?
Yeah, so he lost a bit of his jaw to cancer and all the rest of it, but he's still around is all I'm saying.
But he's not as round.
I'm like genuinely not in no joking way really curious about those lines where people will draw and say, I will not live this long, or I will live longer in order to enjoy this, or I just don't care about those few extra years.
Yeah, no, I think that in general there's not enough evidence that to say that just red meat is going to knock off X number of years, because there are people who've lived into their hundreds who have enjoyed their steaks and potatoes.
I segued in to researchy type things that smell fishy, where this was brought to you by the corn growers of Alberta.
I see what you're saying.
Yeah.
There's whole documentaries on, like, I'm trying to remember the exact documentary, but it talks about how, you know,
I remember reading one about the chocolate industry saying that it was like good for your health, like that chocolate was
it's all about who they're paying.
Yeah, but it was put together by another message by Big Chocolate trying to fill our brain.
It's like Chick-fil-A telling us that beef is no good.
Exactly. You have a vested interest in this.
Yeah.
And so I'm just skeptical.
If you want to put on the tinfoil hat, you got to question all the big pharma stuff, but...
Oh, no. I think that, like, that's just legit.
This podcast will never air if we go any further than that comment.
That's legit. I don't have any problem with
You know, I don't know how many years it was that I heard the words big pharma and thought it was a farm. I'm like, oh, that's not what they're talking about. I feel like an idiot. Ugh.
Yeah. So anyways, I was actually, I'm like, where people put their personal lines really, like, I'm not going to do this because of this reason, and it kills you faster. I'm like, oh, like...
Yeah, but you could say that about smoking.
Sure, and then you could live to like 100 and still smoke.
George Burns.
There you go.
George Burns. Montgomery Burns.
That's the Simpsons guy.
Okay. He lived a long time. He's still
Smithers. Yeah, so anyways.
Well, there you go.
Yeah, maybe I could do the tie-in because of that smells fishy. Maybe the fishy tie-in is just who to trust, when to trust, how to trust. Yeah.
There it is.
My lack of general trust leaves me eating red meat and sugar. But if
pouring sugar on your red meat.
But if I'm dead in 5
with your
years,
chunky cremo in your
just
coffee.
just know that I had a smile on my face.
Yeah, I mean that's for sure part of it is, can you enjoy life?
Yeah, for sure.
No, I'm with you. Like there are people like if it was all about just longevity in life, well, it's riskier to get on an airplane too. Mm-hmm. It's riskier. Like if you want to just live your life.
People say, "Oh, just have a couple mini eggs," and you're like, "I'm gonna empty this bag today."
They made a mini so I could have more.
What do you think?
Why don't they come out with the Cadbury jumbo eggs? Eat it like an apple.
How about they put them in a carton, and so you can start your day like by cracking open just chocolate eggs to feel like you're doing something.
It's like you're making eggs.
Right.
You crack open the egg, and out comes the mini eggs.
Oh, that's living.
Right. Well, should we get into it?
Yeah, let's get this thing going.
Well, we like to play a little game, and we also like to call it Riddlink. Riddlink is a game that takes a two-part trivia-based question and demands a two-part but overlapping answer. So, for example, last one was a doozy. I liked it. Last week we did 6s and 7s, the British idiom, to be at odds, and we left you with... I read the wrong one. What did we leave? Oh, we left you with...
I remember what
number
it was.
of the beast is numerically confusing. Mm-hmm. So number of the beast is... You say it.
We're going to go with 666s and 7s.
That's the answer. So 666 and 6s and 7s. Correct answer is 666s and then... Whoa. 666s and 7s.
Which is different than 667s, which is the neighbor of the beast.
And that's right. That's how you play Riddlink. So I got a couple for today.
And I have a couple as well. I got it's kind of hard, and so we'll see. We'll see if you can pull this in because it's a bit stretchy. It's a little loose.
You just described it as it's a little bit hard, a little bit loose, a little bit stretchy. Like that. That's so many describing words that don't work together.
This is the Nadia Comaneci of Riddlinks. Okay. Ready? This crimson fishy distraction about J.R.R. Tolkien's 19 magical bands.
Oh my goodness. Say it all again.
Okay, illegitimate children, chime in. Yell at your screen.
Yell.
This crimson fishy distraction.
Yeah.
About J.R.R. Tolkien's 19 magical bands.
Is that?
It's not even out yet. It's coming out in the fall.
Oh. Okay, say it again for me.
Okay. This crimson fishy distraction about J.R.R. Tolkien's 19 magical bands.
Okay, so
available on Amazon Prime this fall.
Yeah, I don't know what it's called. I'm going to say Red Herring of the Lords.
Red Hair Rings of Power.
Rings of Power?
Yeah.
Or Ring of Power?
Rings of Power.
I was going with Lord of the Rings backwards. Red Herrings of the Lord.
It's following the story of the other 19 rings. So you got 3 rings given to the elves, 7 rings given to the dwarves, and 9 rings given to man.
And we got to collect them all? Sounds like Marvel.
And it turns into a giant Gigazor.
You making that up?
Yep.
Okay.
All ruled by the One Ring. I'm so excited. You got one for me? I just nerded out there for a second.
I'm so excited. Yeah, I got one.
So excited.
How about this one? There's something about the Bible guy sent to Nineveh that sounds fishy. Hey, goodbye.
Say it one more time.
There's something about the Bible guy sent to Nineveh that sounds fishy. Hey, goodbye.
Gary Glitter. Joe na.
That's it.
Yeah. That's not a Gary Glitter.
I don't know.
Anyway.
I know it from the night.
That's funny. Okay, this one cracks me up. It's stupid. This delicious Hawaiian dolphin fish is called the medical name for a bruise.
This delicious Hawaiian dolphin fish is called what?
The medical name for a bruise.
Oh boy. What's a dolphin fish?
It's okay, just if it said Hawaiian fish, they're probably the
ahi.
For legitimate children, do you know? It's a mahi matoma.
Mahi. Oh, what's an ahi?
I don't know. It sounds like one of them water drinks.
Okay, what's mahi what?
Mahi matoma.
Oh, hematoma.
You sad a little bit?
Yeah.
You felt it was gettable.
Why?
It's a dolphin fish.
It's a dolphin fish.
I know. I was surprised as you. And it's not even native just to Hawaii, but in just these southern areas. But you know it from Hawaii. Mahi.
Well, it's definitely a Hawaiian name.
Mahi.
Mahi hematoma. Okay. Well, I got one more. I failed at that one.
It's a rough day. That's okay.
Yeah, it was hard. It was loose. It was stretchy. Oh, no, that was the one before.
Well, legitimate children, you can see if you can get this next one. Please reach out to us on Instagram at @village.idiom or email us thevillageidiompodcast at gmail.com, or whether it's the Facebooks, the YouTubes, the Twitters at 3 Minutes Gone.
All right, here it is. This Spider-Man villain seems fishy, and so does the swimmingly strong Marvel hero.
Oh, that's clever.
You like it?
Yeah, I really like
I'll say it one more time.
Sure.
This Spider-Man villain seems fishy, and so does the swimmingly strong Marvel hero.
That is fantastic, and that is 3 Minutes Gone.
I liked it.
Closer to 6, but whatever.
Hey, that's sixes and sevens.
It is what it is. Well, it was fun putting today's episode together.
Anna, there's something fishy about Grandma.
There's something fishy about Grandpa.
Oh, this is funny. I'm going to do one more, just because I enjoyed the sound of this one.
Keto, things are very fishy in Denmark.
Pink Panther, Peter Sellers.
K2. Oh, man, it's so funny.
All right.
It was fun putting it together. Hope you enjoyed it. Have a great day. I'm Skinny.
I'm Drask Mug.
And these are the Village Idioms.
There must be something fishy going on.
That's 3 minutes gone.